Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to more Wargame 1v1 at high level. We have another match from the Sensational Tournament, which is being hosted by Greyhound. Today we're looking at the Grape Jelly Man, who's a Brigadier General, that is, against a Dude, First Lieutenant. Now, map is hell in a very small place, which of course has a couple of the main lanes. You got the route next to the canal, usually sees quite a bit of action. Braugh can be a hotbed, but usually goes very much towards the party who starts here. And then you have Golf. Golf, I found, can very much go either way. I'm still not great at pushing through this map, but I have seen a lot of people use reservists in this forest here from both sides to just try and get some sort of vision, get some sort of contact, and then use fire support to finish off whatever vehicle you find. Well, not necessarily vehicle, can just about be infantry. And then Foxtrot. I find it pretty difficult to push through Fox, personally, so I'm very much interested how these guys do it. You got this little tree line here, but being inside the tree line, while it allows you some shots at the neighboring area, something gets to here, it's basically a blind spot. And you're going to have to fire from there in order to get rid of anything that's trying to come up. Both sides can park a CV. You got the little area here, the tree line there, and for the side, the team that starts here, you can put a CV there, but all spots are fairly obvious. So let's see how these guys handle it. When it comes to decks, we have a German-Danish coalition here for Dude, and we have a Dutch-German here for the Grape Jelly Man. Now he's going to have to spread out his forces to both Braugh and, of course, Fox. But that goes for both sides, unless Dude decides that he wants absolutely nothing to do in Braugh, in which case he can dedicate more forces to go towards the middle. You can bet that you can find a lot of these things around. Leopard 2A1s. Leopard 2A1s seem to be very popular. They're very well-rounded tanks. They have 16 frontal armor, 18 AP, a good accuracy while sitting still and on the move, medium optics, good speed, just a solid all-round tank. Dude starts with 3 of them. Grape Jellyman starts with 2 of them, at least 2 of them over there. And over here there is a column that's heading down, but this one does not get accompanied by a tank. Same on this side. Dude is sending some transports over the bridge here, but we don't have any leopards. So the leopard clash looks to be happening here. Initially, Dude makes quite a bit of headway into Golf, up until the point where he runs into an Apache escort. The 864 escort, armed with an autocannon as well as rocket pods, is not quite able to spot the Spiderne as the own smoke generators, the own mortars, are blocking line of sight. A lot of other vehicles coming up behind it, including an automatic in case that escort decides to cause trouble. Over here we got a DAF dropped off the infantry, probably the Huzaren over there, and it's just trying to dash forward, seeing how far he can get, as we also have 2 scout vehicles seemingly linking up here, the Luchs versus the YP408 CNV. Interestingly, first though, the counter here. What we have happening, Dragonair versus a lot of reservists. At least, could be happening. But they're first going to have to try and make their way through the triple stack from Dude, which is those triple Leopard 2A1s. At the same time, the automatic can definitely chew through these guys, but not when they're in the forest. So, let's see if the escort can stun these guys enough, but the rocket pods are going to be hard-pressed. And the ATGM option that Grape Jelly Man had is immediately vaporized by a triple stack of leopards. So now it's 2 Leopard 2A1s versus 3 Leopard 2A1s at the same veterancy. The thing is, these two, one is worried, one is not. These are mostly calm and one is worried. So effectively, Grape Jelly Man is most worried about his Leopard 2A1s, I suppose, and calling them back. Now, all of these Livgarden are having a very rough time against the transports that the Th3s came in. In the meanwhile, 2 fighters are duking it out. You got the MLU against the Block 15 OCU. Very comparable aircraft. Both have ATGMs on them. Both have air-to-air. But it is the MLU that wins. And unfortunately, is able to take out one of the Leopard 2A1s for Grape Jelly Man. It does make it out, even though it took a bit of damage from the Flak Panzer Gepard A2 there. The escort at the moment under fire from the automatic. Very quick kill, but it does give away the fact that the automatic is there. Undeterred, Grape Jellyman pushes forward. Narrat0r under more or less support from the AMX PRIs, dashing forward. But that triple stack of leopards is still a big threat. And there's not that much that he can do about it. In the meanwhile, the rest of the map has seen very, very little action. Everything is happening here. So at the moment, it seems that dude might be able to get the building. Yes, there are more reservists. There are more reservists coming in as well. And Grape Jellyman has been making moves in Foxtrot. He has Panzer Grenadiers deployed, Narrat0r, Martyr 2, and more Panzer Grenadiers down there, which are moving towards, towards the Narrat0r at this point, and could very well start chopping off these 2A1s. The surviving 2A1 that was not hit by the aircraft also died, leading to a tank dominance here from Dude, at least for the moment. More infantry coming in, elites at this point, but they don't get dropped off in time, and the Livgarden 85 die, at least a lot of them, to the Panzer Grenadiers and the Narrat0r. At this point, Grape Jellyman is also making a bit of a move from Foxtrot towards Charlie, which is a 2-pointer, so it's a very important sector to keep secure. And keeping it secure, Dude has the Spiderman, a transport, a Martyr 2, and a Panzergren. Panzergrens are pushing up, but with, interestingly, very little fire support. There's no tank, there's no Martyrs, nothing. It's just 2 transports. But then again, they're only pushing into 1 transport, but there is a Martyr and a Recon Leopard, so this is not going to go very well. There's also another Recon Leopard being moved into position. Not sure exactly what it's going to encounter yet, but from where it is currently, not too much. In the meanwhile, Grape Jellyman is also maneuvering around here. He is going to move up with all these transports. There's Grenadiers there, YPR 76525s, and he's going to encounter a few units from Dude. But based on what Dude has here, he might as well not have deployed those units. Because the way that I look at Bravo is you either push or you don't. And if you don't, you just keep them contained from this bridge here, leading to only a very small investment in infantry, allowing these units to be deployed somewhere else. Even if they're only 10-point units, they could make a difference against, for example, the Narrat0r and the Panzer Grenadiers that we're still seeing over here. The Leopards, calmed down, but still damaged, are going to have to do a bit of frontline work, as there is very little infantry left that they can support. They do, however, have some targets, and they are very quickly making short work of those targets until they see the Panzer Grenadiers, at which point they immediately back up. Stoottroepen from Grape Jellyman deployed into Gulf. He started into buildings and he's now making his way forward. There's Spider there as well as Dekkingsgroepen. This could be a bit too much for the Dekkingsgroepen to chew up, considering there's 18 of them and one Dekkingsgroepen left. But they also got support from their transports. Interesting to note, these are elite as well. There is also a bit of flanking going on here with some more Stoottroepen 95 dropped off by 2 AMXs. Now in the meanwhile, to the northern edge of Bravo, effectively western edge of Bravo as the arrow indicates what's north, the Stoottroepen are moving forward, getting rid of the Dragonair, and they're waiting for their transports to assist. There's no CV yet, nor is there any coming in yet. That goes for both... No, actually, Charlie has been captured by Dude. He's at a +2. The MLU comes in again. This time around, seemingly undeterred. And is... Did it take out the Gepard or didn't it? Didn't quite catch that, but there is a new Gepard coming in. The 3 Leopards are being slowly but steadily healed up by the Mankatis, as they don't really have that much to do at the moment, because they don't have a spotter. So it's up to the Dragonair to try and find something to shoot, as the Leopards are healing up. And there is plenty here to shoot. It's just going to be a matter of time until they find each other. Over here, Grape Jellyman is completely surrounding the last unit from Dude. And the only thing that Dude still has left here is the Flak Panzer. There are immediately new units being spawned in to try and secure the bridge before this becomes a situation that escalates into Charlie. Over here, the Leopard 2A1 has found the Spiderna and is immediately wiping it out. Not a difficult challenge for them. 765s are going to be also a problem for the Dragonair, potentially. The Fennec could be a very interesting unit here, the Fennec 20 mil. It has plenty of opportunity to deal a little bit of damage against the infantry, but there are still plenty of forests around, making it difficult for the Fennec to try and hit something. But until that time when either the Flak Panzer comes in or the Heels, it does have a bit of free reign here, and it uses that to try and wipe out some of the vehicles that Grape Jelly Man is pushing forward. Now, at this point, he being Grape Jelly Man, moving forward with the Stoottroepen and the Grenadiers, moving towards the Flak Panzer. Wouldn't want to necessarily be one of the lead guys to encounter that, but it is very thinly skinned, and it will immediately die to an AT4. If they miss the first shot, don't worry, you can fire 20 rounds a minute with that thing. Now, Dude is still at a +2, and I'm seeing finally a CV here come in from Grape Jelly Man. This is going to be much required to capture Echo. There's no flanking maneuver here threatening his position in Echo, but there is a potential flank happening here with the Stoottroepen that we initially saw over there. It's just no CV that they can kill yet. And it seems that at the moment Dude in Gulf is a little bit being pushed out. The Panzer Grenadiers are making short work of the last of the Dragonair. There is another sort of even fight happening here between the Dragonair and the Stoottroepen, and there is another infantry unit being dropped off, but it's only a spider net. It's not going to be that dangerous against other infantry. The Leopards once again took quite a bit of damage, and also take note that they only have 32 rounds left out of their initial 87. So these guys have done a lot of fighting already. When it comes to Foxtrot, nobody's making a lot of moves towards it. Yes, there are some infantry units here from Dude, potentially blocking off the way to a flank that might be happening here. But beyond that, there is nothing too serious happening. Now, with the CV over here in Echo, Dude is no longer at a +2, but he already has 149 points. So it's up to Grape Jelly Man to try and counter that. Deal with it. The Stoottroepen here are moving forward. They have a little bit of ammunition missing. The Fallschirmjäger do not, so I'm not exactly sure what these boys encountered. But it could have been the 53G, I suppose, that the Fallschirmjäger were coming in through. And the Stoottroepen are moving towards a flank here, dealing with one of the mortars, trying to take a shot at the M113s. But beyond that, they don't have a CV to hunt down. So I think that Grape Jelly Man might have pushed these guys in too soon. And while yes, he's causing mayhem among the new units that are arriving, I think they could have been more valuable if he'd been a little bit more patient. But then again, who am I to question the moves of a Brigadier General? Now, Dude is reinforcing the sector, and you can see that the flow of the battle is once again moving back towards Grape Jelly Man. He seems to be getting pushed out, but there are more units coming in. Elite AMX PRIs, that means that more Stoottroepen have arrived. They only still, however, get backup from one Leopard. That's all, but there is a second Leopard on the way. They still, however, need to deal with this triple stack of Leopards. But at this rate, they're not going to be that much of a threat because they might run out of ammo. So at this point, it is a larger concentration of Grape Jelly Man's forces against whatever's left of the infantry from Dude, which at this point isn't too much. Once again, he's down to just one reconnaissance squad and a little bit of Live Garden. Interestingly, Grape Jelly Man makes use of a lot of mortars. We got 3 HS-30s, which are almost out of ammo. And we only have the one HS-30 from Dude, as the other mortar died over there. There is a command tank coming in, as well as a command infantry unit. So Gulf is solidly, or definitely secured by Dude. But he's not getting a +1, nor is Grape Jelly Man, because Bravo and Gulf counter each other out. So now, the battle is going to happen in Foxtrot. Foxtrot, where there is a command tank on the way. But beyond the command tank, Grape Jelly Man really doesn't have any forces there. Yes, there is one reconnaissance squad, but that's really it. That's all that there is. Take note, however, of this command tank here, this Leopard 1. It immediately starts moving the moment that Grape Jelly Man captures Foxtrot. And once it arrives in Foxtrot, they counter each other out. At which point, effectively, Dude could start to just reinforce his position, reinforce his lines, and not necessarily move ahead. Because he's ahead on points by a lot, and it is up to Grape Jelly Man to try and deal with that. Because he needs to get a lot more points. Stoottroepen are this time getting pushed back by the Dragonair. For now, it is Dude who's making moves here. And it seems that Grape Jelly Man has decided to change tactics. These reinforcements are not going to Gulf. They're heading down the central canal, parallel to Bravo. So the units that were here are pulled back. And it seems that Grape Jelly Man is sort of conceding Gulf at the moment. To the benefit of this push. YP408 moving forward, trying to scout out anything that happens here. And when we look at the defensive position, we got 2 mortars, a couple of Panzer Grenadiers, Fliegerfaust, the CV far in the back, a couple of transports, Dragonair and Milan 2. Against a Leopard 2, another Leopard 2 duo, and a quad stack of what seems to be, I think, just general line infantry. Unless that is more Natres, more reservists. Which he just seems to be pushing down that line. And of course, with the Milan not being accurate... Yeah, Natres, reservist. With the Milan not being accurate, there's not that much that the vehicles have to worry about. But take note how the Milans got all the missiles into the transports, but not into the Leopard 2s. So you can see that Grape Jelly Man decided that, well, I cannot get into Gulf, it's probably too costly. He immediately switches tactics and starts pushing on the 2-pointer. Which, if he can counter that, is a much faster way of getting more points and starting to get even with Dude. So Dude is very highly motivated to get his stuff in order here before he's being pushed out. A couple of Milans from here are assisting, doing their level best to get rid of the mortars, so that the Panzer Grenadiers and potentially the Leopards don't have to worry about the mortars. Because keep in mind, these mortars have 6 AP, which means that the side of a Leopard 2 is still fair game. And there are more of those things coming in. There is a Kyler also dealing with the Leopards. The Leopards, again, there's 2 of those, there's 1 Kyler, and the Kyler does not really have too much of a chance there. At this point, there are quite a few units missing here from Red. Blue definitely lost all of his reservists, to be sure, but the Panzer Grenadiers are just continuing their push undaunted. And with right reason, because the PZF-3 is deadly to Marder 2s. There's more of those coming in, though, with more Panzer Grenadiers, so it's Bruder versus Bruder here, and the Panzer Grenadiers just lost all support from both the Leopards. At the same time, the fighters have been able to deal with, well, each other, effectively. And a little bit more of both of Blue and Red Force Air Forces have been diminished. Now the Panzergrens have survived, which is nice, but they don't have fire support, and these Panzer Grenadiers do. Both of the Marder 2s, Elite, have 99 and 98% accuracy respectively, immediately wiping out one of the squads and getting very much panic on the other one. And yes, there is artillery coming in. There's HS-30 being fired at the position of the Panzergrens, but you're not really going to be able to kill those fast enough. At this point, there's still a bit of an encounter happening in Gulf, but this encounter here was more interesting. The Stoottroepen, basically the last holdout from Grape Jelly Man, are getting pushed out. There is not that much that these guys can do against almost 3 times their number. And that means that with all of these forces that are currently parked in Gulf, Dude can make quite the move. He might be able to get into Foxtrot. And if he does that and finds this, then it could be GG for Grape Jelly Man. Once again, the triple stack of HS-30s has been relocated. They started here, they've now been relocated here, but they're all out of ammo. There's only one of them remaining with ammo, this is the 4th back there. But they're basically supporting 1 AMX PRI. That's it. The Panzergrens have been cut off from their support by the use of that mortar through a smokescreen. So the mortars immediately relocate to a position where they can be more useful. And the Stoottroepen, from their transport, barely survive or rather nearly died, as the Milan actually was able to hit something, believe it or not, and the transport is destroyed. Now at this point, the left side of defense here, the two Leopard 2A1s are under fire from a Milan, but you can see that Dude is definitely making progress. And whereas our Brigadier General could be pushing on Charlie, it could very well be that Dude's going to make a move to Echo, which is the other two-pointer. So if these things start countering each other out, then we're going to have potentially a neutral Charlie and a neutral Echo, which would be a very interesting fight, because the battle is then sort of cut right down the middle. Lots more reinforcements coming in from Grape Jellyman. Transports here, elite transport there. There's a Leopard Verkenning coming in. And from Dude, there is another Leopard 2A1 being moved into position, and it's... Sorry, no, it's the transport that's moving, the logistics unit, which is going to resupply the Dragonair and the Milan, if the Milan would be so clever to move to the transport. Bravo, after the assault on Charlie, is effectively wide open. There's only 2 Milan teams surviving, and they only have 3 missiles between the 2 of them. So there is definitely an opportunity to move in. But then again, Dude doesn't strictly have to. Nor is it arguably the most interesting move, because Bravo, well, it's only a +1. Echo is the real powerhouse. Echo is the +2. That's where you want to be. More forces coming in from Grape Jellymans, the reinforcements that we saw before. But once again, it is the transports and their infantry, but no tank. The tank is a little late. They also seem to be sorely missing any kind of anti-air. But that could, well, depending on what the Peace Rhine was trying to hit. If he gets enough warning, Grape Jellyman could scramble a fighter. But he decides that anti-air might be useful and brings in a Flakpanzer Gepard. Leopard 1A1 against the Leopard 2. Leopard 1A1 could get the first shot and seems to know that the Leopard 2 is there. We got the Panzer Grenadiers here against the Stoottroepen. Both are elite. And the Martyr 2s are still sitting in the back, patiently waiting for an opportunity to shoot something. There's another Leopard 1A1 recon. It is dealing with the Husaren as the Leopard 2 deals with the recon tank. If they can get eyes on this Leopard 1 command tank here, then once again Grape Jellyman could be in a +1. There's still 12 minutes left. It can very, very much go either way here. For all you know, these transports can make a bit of a move with the Stoottroepen and they're trying to CV there or here. But with all the forces that are still patiently awaiting their turn in Gulf, Dude has a lot of potential to make moves, either here or into Fox or into Echo. Now, the transport from the Stoottroepen has died. The Leopard 2 is, other than with the Stoottroepen, not very capable of spotting. Both of these units have medium optics. The Leopard 2 actually has poor optics. It has to rely on something else to tell it what to shoot. And at the moment, the only people who can tell it what to shoot are the Stoottroepen, who are very much under fire from the Fennec. They are, however, interestingly able to shoot the ammo box out of the Fennec, and the Fennec promptly runs out of ammo. Now, you can see that Grape Jellyman tried to make a move here towards the CV, but seemingly decided against it, as he might have seen the Fennec come in. Over here we have another encounter, as Grape Jellyman seems to have scrambled a lot more reservists, as well as fire support in the form of a 2A1, and is trying to get back into Gulf. You can see him constantly probing everywhere. Here, here, here. I'd say that the initiative is squarely in the hands of Grape Jellyman here. The thing is, he seems to have bled a lot. A lot of the units that he has been pushing forward into Charlie, into Fox to some extent, and into Gulf have died. So he's behind. And the question is, can he still recover? He really does not want to lose this Leopard 2A1. They just cannot quite see each other here, the 2A1 and the 2. Now they can, and now they can't. There's this little dip in the terrain, little mountainside that's breaking line of sight. Whoever gets the first shot off, it's the 2A1 that wins. But it doesn't really matter that much, because Dude still has control over the sector and already scrambled more 2A1s to support. Now more transports coming in from Grape Jellyman, and once again he decides to go for the other side. with a CV in tow. He needs to make something happen. There's only 9 minutes left in the game. So if he can temporarily at least hide that CV in here, he can start taking points. In the meanwhile, the Leopard command tank from Grape Jellyman has been detected. It's the Leopard 1A1 that seems to have vision. Well, no, I'm not sure if it was that one. That one is busy with the Panzer Grenadiers. And you can see the command unit is moving very, very closely to Charlie. In the meanwhile, we got the Verkenning trying to make a move across the bridge. Not exactly sure why. Maybe Grape Jellyman senses weakness here. Either way, the Leopard command tank has been spotted. And it seems that the HS-30s are either being used as fire support, lacking anything else, or are being sent to their death to just delay the Dragonair. Because if this thing dies, then dude is once again ticking a +1, and he already has a ton of points. The command infantry is trying to get into the sector, but the Stootruppen still need to get rid of a Leopard 2. And even if the Stootruppen manage to do that, it is painfully obvious where the CV is going to be, because dude knows it's not going to be there, so it has to be here. Which means a bit of artillery, mortar strike, airstrike, anything can very quickly wipe out the command. Which already lost a guy, potentially due to the Martyr 2s. And the Leopard also takes a shot at it and dies or kills off the command infantry. It's probably a blow to morale for Grape Jellyman. The command tank is still here, but it has been under attack from cluster bombs. It barely survived, and everything is now trying to get close to it. The transport is trying to get eyes on it, just to provoke it to fire and give its position away. There's a Leopard 1 coming in. The Fennec, despite not having missiles, is trying to come in. So that potentially I was expecting really an HGM plane, a tank sniper, to come in and take it out. But no such thing. Regardless, the Leopard is pushed out of position. Even though the Fennec is out of missiles, just the mere presence of the Fennec is seemingly enough to dissuade it. And it actually is hovering so low that a couple of splash damage shots from the FL-15s killed it. Nice move there by Grape Jellyman. Dude still at a +1. 7 minutes left. The F-100D is circling, trying to get a shot at whatever it can. But, unfortunately, the Leopard 1, once again undetected. The Leopard Verkenning is being forced out of the sector. Although it doesn't really have that much to fear from the Fallschirmjäger, but it does have something to fear from their fire support. The 2 Leopard 2A1s. And it seems that at this point, there comes the Block 5. The cluster bombs are once again arriving for the command tank. Grape Jellyman recognizes it, pulls the Leopard back, but not fast enough. And the command tank dies. And with that, the CV has died in Charlie, the CV has died here. Grape Jellyman immediately has to spawn in a new one, but these things are expensive. And on top of that, they're going to take a while to arrive. At which point, he would only be neutral. And it seems to be roundabout at this time that he makes a bit of a Hail Mary move here with the AMXs, the Martyrs, there's another C and V. He's just going to try and see where he can get, but he will run into the Leopards, and he surrenders. Leading to a total victory for Dude, who, as you can see, killed a lot more than he lost. Now, I showed you this game because Grape Jellyman just kept pushing and probing everywhere. He kept trying to figure out where the enemy was weak, where he could push, where he could move, and he never gave up. And that is very, very well done. Hope you guys enjoyed the match. More on the channels which are linked down below. And let me know what you think about the match down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you soon for more.